Hello everyone, and welcome to the third video in our Intro to Tarot series. Hopefully in the time that's passed between this video and the last, you've been able to spend some time meditating with at least some of the cards in your deck and journaling about drawing closer to the energies that are associated with your oracle deck. The reason why in the last video, I had us start right away with talking to and communicating with our deck about what the message was for us as the deck had at this time, is because I think especially with oracle cards, it's really essential to get to know the energy and emotions and beings that are attached with your oracle deck. If you actually spend time with your deck, you'll get to know the unique personality that your deck has. And especially with oracle cards, there is that ability for them to be very, very personal to you and also in and of themselves, just because the system is a little bit freer and the mythology and the symbolism really can speak to you in a very unique way. So it's very important to actually spend time with your deck. And that's really what I want you to take out of this intro to the oracle card series. Is that it's extremely important to actually spend time with your deck every day if possible. If you have more than one deck, then obviously you're going to be dividing your time between decks, but it's really important to actually spend quality time with your deck, just like you would with another person that you're in a relationship with. They're that real and important. So today, what I want to talk about is diving in a little bit deeper into working with your deck and in ways that will be beneficial and that you can start doing readings for yourself and others if you want to with them. Really important is to meditate with your cards. And after you've meditated with every card once, the meditation time is not over. And I really do stress that because you'll always learn something new because you're always changing and growing, and so is your deck. So continue meditating even after you go through your deck or feel that you've got the feeling of the deck. Please do continue meditating. That's really important. But today I'm going to talk about ways that you can start actively using your deck every day besides meditating, which, as I just said, is extremely valuable and important activity to add to your daily spiritual practice. My bangs are being rude today. So I want to start by talking about the single card draw. Now, I know in every book that you get and everything that you read about Tarot 101 and Card 101, there's always talking about a single card draw and how that's beneficial for you. And if you follow people on Facebook who are readers, they'll often do a daily draw on Facebook or through YouTube or however they choose to do that. So you might feel like, you get your daily draw from that, but I would really recommend a daily draw as part of your spiritual practice. And there are several ways that you can do this. One of my many teachers, she does a daily draw completely differently than I do, but it's just as effective. And so I'm going to talk to you about specifically 2 ways you can do your daily draw today. And hopefully you can practice with both and see what feels right for you, or do some research and find someone else's way of doing a daily draw that can be very effective for you. What my teacher does is and today I'm working with the Heart of Fairies Oracle deck by Brian and Amy Cloud. So she has her deck right by her bed, and in the morning she gets up and she draws a card for the day. Okay, this is a blank card that comes in the deck. She doesn't meditate with the card or ask the card what the message is for her today or do anything like that. She just sees that this is the card. She puts her deck down and she puts the card on top of the deck. She goes about her day. At the end of her day, she takes time before she goes to sleep to look at the card again. Then she meditates with the card and she discovers what the message of the card has been for her during the day and how it's applied in her life. This has helped her to, number 1, get to know her decks. Number 2, get to know the meanings of each card in a very personal way, because she actually sees how the card has fit in and applied to her day. And so this is a wonderful way to do a daily draw. So this would be one way that you can do a daily draw. The way that I do my daily draw is I get up in the morning, I have, breakfast, and I get my tea ready. And while I'm having my tea, so it's a time of the morning for me where I have a few minutes and I'm taking a few minutes for myself, and I'm not running around trying to do something else. I will do what I'm doing right now, which is shuffle my deck. And I will just consciously be thinking while I'm shuffling my deck, guides and angels of this tarot, not tarot or oracle deck, but in this case, in this series, we're talking about oracle decks. My guides and angels right now, the guides and angels of the place that I'm in. What is the message for me today? What is it important for me to know today? And again, just like in the last video, I shuffle until it feels right. Then I usually divide my deck into 3 because that's, here, let me move this. Can you see that a little bit? Yeah. Okay, then I divide my deck into 3 and I choose a card from one of the stacks that feels right for me. And again, I drew a nameless card. You can tell that there's some interesting factors at play here for me. So this is the card that I drew. This deck is so beautiful, and I feel bad because it's really hard with this camera for you to actually see the beauty of it. Okay, so I don't put my card down and then go about my day at this point. What I like to do is to sit with the card for a while, and with my tea, and I have my tea now, so I sit with the card for a while, and I just relax, and I just wait to hear any messages or intuitions that come to me. And if I have my journal and I have time, I'll write those down. And then I'll know that that's my message for the day. And whatever I go through during the day, I try to be very aware and focused on the message that I've received. And I always find that something comes up, or I'm faced with something, or I go through something, and the message that I received from the card is very important for me to stay calm and handle the situation in the most positive and best way possible for everyone concerned, or just that the message is bringing me joy throughout the day and reminding me of what is most important in my life and what really makes me happy in my life. So that's how I do my daily draw. There are many different ways that you can do your daily draw. You can have a specific question in mind, and sometimes I will have a specific question other than just, what is the message? Universe, what's the message for me today? And if you do have a specific question, then just ask that question in the morning and draw your card for the day that way, and allow that message to come to you. And I know that this feels like, especially if you're just starting to work with the cards, like you really want to dig into those big spreads and figure your way out through them. But the single card draw is, I think, the most beneficial and effective way to really get to know the deck and to get comfortable with your intuition and your psychic abilities. And you really have to be very comfortable and able to hear intuitively those messages that are coming up if you're going to be an effective reader. And if you're actually going to be communicating with spirit, not just spouting off memorized meanings. So it's really important. This is a relationship, and it takes time to build, is pretty much what I'm trying to say today. So single card draws are an excellent way, that our daily draws are excellent to help you to build that relationship, and I really encourage you to start doing that with your deck. For this series, I recommended at the beginning that you start with one deck and just use one oracle deck for this series, even if you have multiple decks. And I know that I am using multiple decks in each video, but that's just to show you that you don't have to have a certain deck that I have said I like in order to do this series. For you, I'd really recommend that you stick with the deck that you started with and really just work on building that relationship. So over the next week, it would be really great if every day for the next week you did a daily draw in whatever way Sorry, I'm just going to take a nip water. In whatever way feels right to you, whether that's meditating with the card at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, or having a specific question that you're looking for an answer for, or that you need some insight on from Spirit. Try to do that every day for the next 7 days. And take the time out in your journal. And I do have a tarot journal video coming up, because I know I have a viewer that's asked me to do that. And I'm sure some of you are looking for a little more insight on that in this series. So that is coming. But take time as you do that daily draw, however you choose to do it, to write down at least a sentence or two about the messages that you've received. And then look back at that. We'll look back at that after 7 days and really see if it's been beneficial and if it's a practice that's valuable to you to keep on practicing. And if not, then there are certainly other practices for you to incorporate into your life working with your oracle cards. So this video has mainly just going to focus on the one card draw, your daily draw. In the next video, we're going to be talking about branching out into larger spreads and other ways that we can work with our oracle decks as we begin on our journey of getting to know them. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next. Bye.